Hello, my name is Bruno Flaven and welcome to this third video. I'm presenting the code that I've attached to learning and building end-to-end test automation with Cypress and OKR. This is the last boost I just released, and I'm going through this time the code from the Cypress 10. I've shown how to use the Cypress 9 and the suite and the end-to-end suite on WordPress that was working. And also, when I'm in the writing process, it was go to 10. I think they are now to 12. But anyway, we will go quickly to install Cypress. So, for instance, what I'm gonna do this time, I'm gonna get directly the code from, so let's say we are in the working dir, and here I have the code that coming from, okay, so I'm gonna do that pretty brutally, and I'm gonna delete this because I don't need it, and I have everything that I need except Cypress, which I will install by the command that I already made. That was this one. I'm not installing anything right here. I will run only npm install. Okay, I think I write it down here. Okay, so I'm in the good directory. I should see my stuff if I set it working there. Yeah. And then I run the install. So I should install Cypress 10 and everything that is required to make the test working. Okay, then I ask, maybe I can check directly by using this command directly. And it will indicate me maybe to update my stuff, to update the version of Cypress that I have. So it's a bit different. Yeah, apparently it has worked. Yeah, okay. And he's asking me, do I want to upgrade? For the moment, I won't do that because I just want to present the whole stuff that I made. Apparently, yeah, that's due to the fact that right here, my local stuff does not work anymore because I've cut XAMPP. So I will restart XAMPP, and I showed previously how to use this local URL, or this custom URL for WordPress, and right here also. So when it's done, it should be working. See, yeah, apparently it's back again, and yeah, it's up. It's all green, and this time, yeah. So basically, he has found this time the custom URL, and I've got exactly the same kind of test, except that is a bit different. So the main difference between the 9 and the 10, that was pretty, let's see here, that's mainly, well, the structuration has changed, and also the extension has changed, you see. Now there's no more integration, but there's end-to-end, and you have all the stuff. So normally, you don't have to change anything. For instance, if I go for this one, you remember in the very first video, it was able to only open, oops, yeah, that was only loading the stuff, and it's okay. It's a bit different. I can even try, so you always forget, so I can try this one, for instance. And I think, yeah, and this one, for instance, is not working because I didn't change it as, so I'm going to rename it correctly. That's Sci, and it should appear Sci. Okay. By the way, that reminds me that I need to change it on, yeah, it's just here. And I think this one's gonna change, oops, sorry. It's going to change, yeah, is changing the viewport. And he's waiting and changing again the viewport. So basically, I'm ready to work. If I take the same test, maybe I can go. For instance, I have exactly access to the same stuff. Let's take the configuration. I can even go through the same command very quickly. So for instance, this one is gonna open with a specific language already, and I've shut down the video recording and the screenshot. But basically, that's exactly the same. I think when I go in settings, I should be able to. I think it's in settings, project settings. Is that if I open it? Yeah, well, he's opening it right here, but I want to project settings, device settings, dashboard settings. No, that's not this one. Yeah, that's here. You have everything here, and I think you have the English somewhere. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, language. Okay, so I've loaded this one. Okay, so basically I'm exactly in the same situation with the 9. Maybe I will go quicker. Well, I can run like I used to run all the stuff, and it's exactly doing the same thing. So it's not running, he's running through the console, and he's gonna load all this suite. You see, there's 31. It's a bit less. He's exactly doing the same thing. Here I can specify the brother like I did before. Okay, so cut it. And for instance, I would jump directly to the the custom config has changed. You can't call the custom config like this because the config right here are in no more in they are JSON. Okay, so I should use. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it right here in this command. I'm changing for 10. Cypress 10. And the same if I do Cypress 10, but for Spanish. You know, in the previous video I was doing, so this time I'm going to put the Spanish. Let's check. Let's check if it is working. So right here, I'm going to check if it's still in English. Yes, it's in English. And just to see if it is loading the correct language and the correct config file. Yeah, apparently it's working. So what has changed is that, and I can check inside. So it's a bit different. The screen is a bit different from the previous. And here I can see that it's loading this event. Okay, so it's loading and it's loading the things in English. So for instance, if I start, well, I'm not always focused, run, Now this is it. I think I've start the admin navigation, this one. So you should do the same, meaning that is meeting the WordPress in English like I did before, and is comparing the label. So the test should work normally. That's exactly the same logic as the previous version that I show in 9. So that's pretty good because you just change, you just migrate, but you don't lose anything from the test that you have previously write. You see, except that the appearance of the Cypress has changed a little bit, but we really care. So the principles that are exposed in the book that you can find on Amazon, okay, are explaining. You have a more detailed table of content. You've got everything to understand. If you want to use Cypress for your own usage, if you're a PO or if you're handling quality assurance strategy, okay. Well, this is my experience, but I wanted to share with the other because I find it. I think many people are in the same situation where they need to ensure insurance and quality and no flawless application delivery. Okay, just check if the apparently, yeah. So he's still expecting Spanish because that's in Spanish. That's in Spanish, sorry. So I will come back in English. Okay. And it should work. Yeah. So this time I'm asking to redo the stuff. And it will change for English. Yeah, that's in English right now. And this time it's gonna load. As he's loading I've loaded the whole stuff in English right here. Define in English, so it should met English and English, and it should be working. And then dashboard is not escritorial, but dashboard. So it should work. So all these comparison and explanation were given in the previous video, but also in this video. Because as a PO, sometimes you need to test, what the end user is going to see from your CMS. Okay, I'm just waiting until the sub-navigation is coming up. So yeah, I show in the previous video why it was not working because the label was not correct. Yeah, the label was not correct because it's plugin 1 somewhere and it should be plugin 2. So I can redo the change. I think it was here in fixture. No, that was no, sorry, this one. And I have plugin, plugin 2. And I think I'm using also in support, and it was here. That was here. That was the case in English. It was plugin 2. Exactly. You see, so basically he should restart, and then you will do the same correction. So that's just because when I'm comparing label, it's pretty brittle and it may have flawless as you have some change in your UX, but you see it's pretty easy to correct it and to make the test go through. So I will wait until it will work, just because you will have the proof that I'm not lying. And meanwhile, I would say that I've implemented these principles and they are pretty obvious, and it's straightforward. And I'm not a specialist of testing. I just want to be sure that every time I'm doing a delivery of the CMS that I'm working with, it's working. So that's why I've leveraged on WordPress. Again, that's not to test WordPress, but that just gives the principle that I'm using. Okay. So in the second part, he should be able, yeah, he's going to test the sub navigation. It's already done. I think equal, where is pages? And that's below. Plugin. And see, is finding, and is equal to plugin 2 is a string. I think, yeah, this time, yeah, that's it. That's where I was looking for. And you have plugin 2. Plugin 2. Okay, so he has changed correctly what I was asking. Okay? Thank you for watching, and be sure to buy the book and to support my video if you like it. And be sure to, you can drop me a mail if you have any issue or any question on that. See you then. Bye-bye.